brought in by Nicola Bulley's family to help locate her after police failed right all along, Peter Faulding has released to the Daily Mail sonar footage from just 6 minutes into his search of the River Wyre, and it appears to show a dead human body. An independent expert has now confirmed that the image certainly appears to be human and matches Nicola's height exactly.
Neil McDonough, who is one of the UK's leading sonar operators for search and rescue purposes, was shown the sonar data on a new episode of the Geographic Profiler podcast. When Mr. McDonough was asked if it could be a branch or simply nothing at all, he declared that certainly appears to be a human. The length of this target was 5 feet and 3 inches, or 161 centimeters, which is approximately the same height as Nicola Bulley.
Police at the time dismissed it as nothing or a tree branch, and later told Faulding to pack up and leave.
Now that is completely ridiculous. Peter Faulding and his team came there to help them, and they told him to pack up and leave. You see, the College of Policing, who in November 2023 published a 140-page independent review into the case, stand by their report. They insisted that the police divers searched the area Mr. Faulding flagged. They also reiterated that they then got an expert view from an unnamed leading government sonar specialist who told them that they had low confidence that the images were that of a human casualty.
Can I go back to Peter Faulding? He says now that within 6 minutes of his first search around the venture, he found the body and he showed you his sonar images. What's your response to that?
So the area around the bench was searched 3 times, and the third time was in direct response to the report of his suspicions. We have shown as part of the review the images of Peter Faulding's images from that area at that time, and 2 independent experts have said that it's unlikely that was a body. So I don't think there's credibility to that claim.
Unlikely, but you can't.
Highly unlikely. It's in the report.
Are there any other questions?
I mean, I do think it's important to clarify this. The area was searched immediately after that report, and there was nothing there.
You see, what doesn't make sense is this contradicts completely with what Neil McDonough said, and Neil McDonough is also a specialist. In fact, he's one of the leading UK sonar operators. Let's see if this leading sonar expert thinks it's just a tree branch or a body.
Live data that Peter Faulding provided me, and this is from the search for Nicola Bulley. Do you mind just walking us through what we are seeing here as a general audience, as somebody who's never seen side scan sonar before?
Yeah, absolutely. So the yellow line in the center shows the track of the vessel, in this case the boat. On the left and the right, you have your port and starboard sides of the sonar imagery. And then what I'm looking for at either side of this imagery is 2 things. One, I'm looking for distinct shadows. Nothing is popping for me at the moment. But the sound waves across the top of the screen and the green and the red there, in the event of a target being identified, there will be a flat spot. And that is a clear indication that there is something there which maybe shouldn't be, or something that stands out for us. Okay, so there is a real interesting shadow coming up at the moment. So if we can just pause the screen there, Doug, if you wouldn't mind, please. So on the left-hand side, or in this case, the port side of the vessel, there is quite a prolonged large shadow, which is an unusual shape. That isn't what I would naturally see with natural features. So, tree branches or any kind of vegetation. That be potentially a human body. Does it have representation of a human body? Am I seeing things like limbs? Am I seeing a human form? Quite possibly. Obviously, now that we've got the live footage, it's really accurate with the software that would be available to me at this time. to determine size of that object. So I could put a line on that and measure it. If that matched the height of the individual which we were looking for, then it would quite possibly, almost undoubtedly be a credible target for me. The other thing I'm seeing, which is becoming more apparent, and unfortunately I don't have access to Zoom at the moment, I'm not sure if it's anything that you've got, but I'm seeing what would appear, I would zoom in and maybe change the frequency in the background color, but I'm seeing, starting at the furthest south point, I'm seeing what looks like to be a buttocks heading up to a lower back, heading up to what looks to be almost a torso. Head is very vague, but I'm maybe seeing the front of the head, which is coming to view for me at the moment. But then as I look more closely, and again, this is maybe where a color palette change would be supportive to define this even further, I'm seeing legs in almost a crouched or semi-crouched position. It would certainly, in my experience from recovering multiple bodies, it would certainly appear to take the shape of human form. But if we could possibly change the color palette just to see if we could make that image stand out, fantastic. So this would be very similar to what I would be doing both on the boat and following the initial search. Again, there is the clear shadow, that the shadow's not removed, fantastic. But that form that I'm seeing, starting off where you are with the head and moving down the lower back at the moment onto the buttocks, and then moving around onto the thighs, and then down towards, not quite as visible, but certainly apparent, what look to be the legs. Yeah, so it looks like the operator at the moment is doing an outline of what they are seeing. So we are coming to the front of the torso at the moment, heading up to the arms. Again, not really as clear, but certainly something is outstretched, which would be indicative of the arms, and then leading up to what appears to be the head, exactly as the operator has done that. It's the same. It's the same practice, standard practice that certainly I would utilize and my team would utilize. It's a credible target as far as I'm concerned. I guess the next steps in this would be that we would expect a subsurface team, maybe a diver, to go in and review this, and again confirm this target. But absolutely, in my mind, and based on the evidence and the information I've got in front of me at this point in time, that certainly appears to take the form of a human.
He also shared a new video of the river barely moving, calling into question claims that Nicola was swept away.
Guys, if the water was barely moving, how did Nicola end up so far away? How did she end up near that lay-by? Something about this is just so suspicious, I can't seem to get my head round it. Guys, this is just so fishy, and it's not adding up at all. This seriously needs to be reinvestigated.
Faulding believes Nicola entered the water 75 meters downstream from where police thought, and he says the area was never treated as a proper crime scene.
You see, guys, this is where I think it all went wrong from the beginning. Because they didn't treat it as a crime scene, they ruined the investigation right out from the start. You see, those crucial bits in the beginning, regards to evidence and stuff that they could have gathered, they completely destroyed that. There were people trampling all over the place within hours. They didn't just mess up by not having a crime scene, they just made the assumption that she must have just fallen in. It was like that from the beginning. Those of you that have followed the case would remember that they just kept going on about this hypothesis about how Nicola must have just fallen in the river. And then Peter Faulding came along with an open mind and said that the phone could have been put there as a decoy. He thought, just like the rest of us did, that something isn't right. Now maybe, if they kept an open mind from the beginning, then none of this would have happened. Maybe they could have found out the truth. So many unanswered questions. I just don't understand how Nicola's family can accept all of this.
He is now accusing Lancashire Police and the College of Policing of a cover-up, saying his sonar evidence was ignored.
Peter, I really don't blame you for accusing them of a cover-up, because it looks like they've been lying through their teeth from the beginning. They obviously didn't want to take you seriously. Now why is that? Was you some sort of threat? You see, Peter Faulding coming along, searching the river, wasn't part of their plan. If this was a setup and they're all involved, then Peter Faulding turning up is the last thing that they would have wanted. And that's why they probably wanted him to go. Unfortunately for Lancashire Police, Peter Faulding doesn't seem like he's going to let this go. Good on him for trying to get to the truth.
Going to go down the river slowly. Now this is what I see exactly as I go down the river. So you've got the red side. This is a port side or left, as in boating or aviation, and the green is the starboard side of the boat. So we're coming down from the bench. Now we've just started at the bench, just coming into screen in the middle of the screen, near enough to the port side, to the left side. So a tree, big tree down there. This is up near the bench area, quite deep water in the middle there. You can see that. You can see remnants of a large tree.
Guys, look at this large tree properly. I'm going to zoom in just to make it a bit clearer for you guys. Just take a note of what this looks like.
There's the tree clearly in the just on the left side there. There we go. And we're going to roll down the river. Now we start to see a rough bottom coming in. An interesting area for a body, to get past certain rough areas. It can be a challenge sometimes. To look at the right side, the starboard. So this is the side the bank is, and we're just going straight down towards what I call the island. And you can see all the little stones laying on the bottom. That's how accurate this particular side-scan sonar is. It's extremely powerful. It's 1800 kilohertz, the most powerfulest you can buy for looking for human remains. Now, you'll now start to see at the top of the screen a target coming through, which does look like human form. If you look at it now, we'll let it roll. And that is what I was looking for. So bearing in mind we pinged this target in the morning, I've come down the screen. I'm going to let it roll slightly more down, and you can see there's a sort of a sandbank there. There we go. Now, I'm going to talk you through this. What we've got here is I can see a large shadow. So if there was nothing there, it would be an absolute impossibility to get a shadow, what looks like a pair of arms to the left side there. Now, the actual target I'm going to highlight to you in a second. What I went straight to the magnifier whilst I was sonaring, and now I'm just going to run this over slowly. You can see the bottom here, bent legs. I'm going to run up the back. You've got the head at the top, and then
guys, notice how this target looks nothing like the tree that we saw earlier on that I told you to take a note of. The reason why I told you guys to do that is because when you look at this target, this is what the police are calling just a tree branch. They said there was nothing there, it was just a tree branch. But why does it look so different to what an actual tree branch looks like under sonar images? Let's put these pictures side by side. I can't help but think that the police are lying through their teeth here. I mean, seriously, they're treating us like we're stupid. I'm not even a sonar expert, and even I can tell that they're talking a load of rubbish to us. If we look at the picture on the left, that's what a tree branch or a tree looks like with sonar imaging. Now, if we look at the picture on the right, this is what Peter is saying is Nicola Bulley, the target. You see, guys, police want us to believe that the picture on the right is also a tree branch. Now, they've had 2 independent experts look at this, and they still think it's just a tree branch. They must think that we're completely stupid.
and you've got a shoulder and an arm on one side. Now, if you run to the left of it, the shadow, like I said, it creates a shadow. What we've got here is running along the body, and now we've got a head in the middle, and we've got 2 arms sticking out. you can't miss it. It's very, very, very clear to me.